Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so... What the fuck? Oh!
In the grand year of 2026, 3 amazing indie horror movies were released, all with one thing connecting them. There's a guy, and he's stuck in a freaky place. And though these movies are all incredible in their own right, these 2 are 7 out of 10s. That last statement was a joke. My point is, these 2 movies both have a missing piece that's held by the other, and when these pieces come together, they make a 8.5 out of 10 film. So the question is, what are these pieces, and what are the things that Iron Lung and Exit 8 get wrong that the Backrooms get so right? I have no idea, I lost my script. Alright, sick, I found my script. And apparently this movie sucks. Iron Lung is a movie about all the stars and planets disappearing, no biggie. We follow a convict named Markiplier. Simon. His name is Simon. He's a convict who committed some crazy junk in the past, and we follow as he is sealed in a vessel called the... From what we are told, this vessel is being sent into a planet of blood, nice, to find junk that will help humanity. And right off the bat, oh my god. The opening scene as a submarine is dunked in the ocean with the voiceover, and inside the entire vessel quakes. You can feel that this junk is bunked like gunk. With every thud and shake, you can truly feel like the submarine is at the bottom of a terrifying ocean of blood, with God knows what's outside of it.
Ooh, I'm gonna be all up in those feet. Oh, I'm gonna just be... sucking on each one of those tootsies. You can't hide them from me. No, no, no. You think you can, but you cannot.
The music builds as we see blood leak in the vessel already. The vessel depth already going in the red. Contact cuts. We are alone. Or are we?
Oh no, there's no hiding those sweet, succulent...
And this is what Iron Lung excels at, building that tension, making us feel utterly hopeless and trapped, tiny and insignificant at the mercy of the ocean, and anything else out there. Something else Iron Lung is amazing at is all that psychological horror biz, cause guess what? This isn't just a normal big scary monster, it's an eldritch cosmic being big scary monster. Score. And also you probably have radiation poison. Yeah, that's right. Throughout the movie, Mark hallucinates random horrifying BS due to radiation poisoning, isolation, or the monster. Honestly, take your pick. I think it's all of the above. Anyway, so basically Mark eventually gets lifted back up for a second before being sent down again, discovers Scary Monster, gets trapped in some tunnels for like an hour, then slowly goes insane as the fish monster dude torments his consciousness. And oh, what a great torment of his consciousness we get.
Hello everybody, my name is Welcome.
My favorite bit has to do with this speaker that, you know, Mark has been using to like communicate with the surface whenever he gets the chance. But during that hour where he was lost, someone had been leading him somewhere, talking to Simon, and then we realize it's been disconnected the whole time. And it's actually just, you know, the monster, but then later it's back to normal, and then the captain regains contact again, and then you're like, what happened? And dude, the last act of this movie is so peak. I'm sorry, it's so sick. Anyway, sorry, long story short, at the end, the fish monster kind of cooks Simon like it's so over. But in the very end, Simon, with his last shred of willpower, sacrifices himself for the good of humanity, sending vital information he found to the surface, redeeming himself from his sinful past. Yes, his past. He redeems himself from what he's done, finishing his character arc. Wait, yeah, so, okay, what is his sinful past? Like, what did he do to become a prisoner again? Oh, well, he destroyed the last tree. And also something called Filament Station. Okay, yeah, alright, no, for sure. So, why does that matter? Well, what do you mean? It's the last tree. That's, like, probably really important. Cool, but why did he do it? Oh, well, he didn't mean to. Alright, okay, yeah. So what exactly happened? We don't know. Okay. You see, my one problem with this movie is Simon and his character arc. You see, the thing is, I don't really care about this guy, cause I'm evil. Okay, no, but for real, I have no narrative connection to this character. Yeah, I don't want him to die, cause like he's a human and he's likable, cause it's Markiplier.
He's
too thick.
But I don't really have a connection to this character, which in turn makes me less connected to the suspense and the horror. I don't care as much as I would about Simon not making it out if I knew more about him and his struggles or maybe his past. But as the movie presents Simon, he's a guy who did something that I'm told is bad, that he didn't mean to do. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that as a viewer? I feel nothing about Simon apparently killing the last tree. I don't know what that is or what that even means for the characters, the plot, or anything. And even more, I have no idea why or how he even accidentally did that. So I can't even really feel sympathy for him. Was he manipulated, coerced? I mean, if anything, according to these flashbacks, it seems like he was a kid when it happened. Dude, if I somehow actually let a bunch of 9-year-olds kill the last tree, I feel like that's more on me than these literal children. Hey guys, it's me. I'm editing the video. So I did look it up, and actually it turns out he was not a kid when it happened. It was like a whole siege or whatever. I don't know. I looked it up and I was like, how was I supposed to know any of this? Like, none of it is in the movie. I watched it twice and I couldn't even begin to piece together some of the actual lore behind it. It's insane. All right. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna get into that later. Okay. Okay. Bye. Enjoy. But a cake. There are perfectly good explanations for all of these. All you have to do is read the lore. 500 kiloton nuke. Look, I shouldn't have to do homework to understand the main character of my movie. I understand that there's a lot more lore that I don't know, but respectfully, I ain't reading all that. I just feel like this movie should be able to stand on its own, you know? And look, I get it. If you analyze the movie frame by frame, you could probably find out a lot more about the lore than the first watch, but respectfully, I don't think that's how movies should be if those details are making me miss out on the progression and character arc of the protagonist. A lot of that stuff works better in video games because it's a side thing compared to the game. The narrative is usually placed upon a stable and interesting gameplay. Unlike a movie, which, you know, its entertainment value and quality relies entirely on its narrative. All of these factors kind of drag down the movie from being really amazing to just pretty good. Also, along with the... But overall, I still think this movie has some pretty incredible moments and is amazing at building suspense and tension, but it's just dragged down by its lack of development when it comes to its protagonist. So there, I hope I didn't piss anyone off too bad. So with Iron Lung done, what about... Alright, wait, cut that title card. Before we go on, I do think it's important I acknowledge something really important about these indie films, because while bunching these films under this label doesn't really give the true context of the production and support these films had. For example, the Backrooms movie was made on a budget of $10 million, you know, not a ton, but more than the other two combined. It was also produced and distributed by A24, while still being an indie studio. It's, you know, A24. This film definitely had more backing and resources compared to Iron Lung, where the production and distribution were entirely handled by Markiplier himself, which is truly an incredible feat and is a huge achievement when it comes to independent productions. I mean, how often do you sit in a theater and watch an opening scene that was voiceovered by the main character's actor, who also happens to be the guy behind the production and the distribution, and also the whole scene was rendered in that same guy's bathroom. As for Exit 8 though, it was based on the indie game of the same name, but it was directed and produced by a pretty esteemed name in Japan and even distributed by one of the largest film importers in Japan. But when it came to distribution to America, the independent studio Neon handled that, so is it actually indie? Maybe. Anyway, I do think that this is some pretty important context to have as I delve deeper into these films and compare them to one another. Though they all have many similarities, there are pretty key differences in their production and access to resources. So anyway, back to comparing each of them on the same level. Our film starts with this regular Joe Schmo named The Lost Man. Pretty strange birth certificate, but alright. We see as he's listening to straight bangers on the subway and a stupid baby starts crying, and this guy rightfully puts it in its place. Shut the fuck up! The Lost Man does nothing about this, obviously, because that's the right thing to do, and he gets off the subway and gets a call from his ex, who says she's at the hospital, and she's pregnant! Surprise! She's trying to figure out if she should keep the baby or not, and the Lost Man's all like, wait, where am I? He loses signal in the middle of the call and is now stuck in this infinite subway hall loop. But good news! If you just follow these rules, you'll be able to get out pretty easily. So, it's an infinite loop of the same ring. So if in a given loop there's an anomaly, turn back. If everything's normal, go forward. Each time you get it right, the number on this sign goes up by 1 until you reach 8. And once you do that, you'll be able to exit. Exit 8. Wait. Say that again? What I really love about this film, though, is that most of these anomalies are directly related to the main character's fears of being a good father and guilt for what he didn't do on the subway. Because apparently the guy screaming was not in the right or something. In one of my favorite scenes in the movie, he gets a call from his ex. So he's finally able to speak with her and laments what he did on the subway and how he wouldn't be a good father and how he can't handle the responsibility. And I honestly totally thought it was fake until it cut away to her in the hospital. So he keeps walking forward on the phone until the camera pans and we realize it was an anomaly the whole time. And this is what's so cool about the movie. Unlike the game, the movie is able to use the setting to change or affect the character by giving him anomalies that remind him and recontextualize his actions and responsibility. But it doesn't stop there. You see this guy? He's a character too. His name is the Walking Man. Wow, they must be related. This guy was once trapped here with this kid who's like the go to finding anomalies. But because he never takes the time to actually talk or connect with the kid, or even like cares about him, he ends up getting trapped by this hell and is turned into one of its cogs, which is awesome. Anyway, also because this place also like warps time and stuff, I guess the Lost Man eventually runs into the boy. So anyway, the Walking Man is supposed to be the narrative opposite of the Lost Man in every way but their shared stupidity. More on that later. In the end, the Lost Man listens and connects with the boy and ends up sacrificing himself to save him. And also, he might be his son from the future, but I don't really know about that, so we're just gonna move on from that right now, okay? Also, hey, look, he's alive! Whoa, hey, cool! Anyway, the movie ends with the Lost Man getting back on the train, stupid baby crying, an awesome guy yelling, and the Lost Man intervening, I guess. Alright, so, narratively satisfying, interesting protagonist, a setting that both works within the story and acts as an interesting set piece for the film overall. What could possibly be wrong? All of the characters are morons! Let me ask you, my dear and beloved viewer of the best channel on YouTube, if you were in a scenario where if something is off, once you turn back, it's completely gone and you're safe, and you walked into a room with deep, massive rumbling, with unknown danger behind the corner, would you stand there or leave? It's not even typical horror movie BS at the end of the day, because as soon as something is wrong, you're actually encouraged to not face it. You literally are one step closer to leaving this nightmare scenario if you just go back. And oh my god, every time they get it wrong over a tiny detail, it's so annoying. Because to us as an audience, it's constantly painfully visible. And the character either has a moment where they're like, huh? Or like, oh god, no, why? Like, oh my god, chill out. You literally just have to do this right 8 times. I can count that on my fingers. In fact, I counted how long the Lost Man is in this place. An hour! That's not even like a nightmare scenario. It's a minor inconvenience at worst. My main point is the stakes in this movie are just so low. They have to manufacture danger so much and even give the main character asthma just to get away with half of the horror. Like, I'm sorry, but this guy's asthma is the most annoying part of the film. Ever try putting your inhaler in your pocket since you need it every 5 seconds? And then he ditches his bag that has his inhaler for no reason and never needs it again. Oh my god, this is so easy, dude. I could get out in like 25 minutes flat. In fact, I paid $3 for this bit, so please make sure like and subscribe, guys. All right, let's start it up. Oh shit. All right, so just go back. Dude, this is the easiest thing ever. No smoking? You can't stop me. Bad. What? Nuh-uh. Chill. What? So I just don't go that way. Oh boy, should I keep going forward? We're chilling. What? No! Alright, low-key, I kind of get it. This game, it's not the challenge. It's the rage bait. Huh. Ah! Stop. Chilling? That's stain. That's gotta be an anomaly. Yeah. Dude! Easiest thing ever! Is this room an anomaly room? I don't know. I don't know if we have to really look for him here. I'll still look for him. Oh my god. No! What are you talking about? Alright. Shit, no. Fuck no. You look fly. Looking spiffy today. A little too spiffy. Is that an ollie? Oh my god. Okay, so this one we do have to check out anomalies for. Something's up with these, no? Something's up with these. They're bigger. And they're weirdly placed. I'm going back. Oh my god. Oh, stop! Why haven't I left yet? When does it end? Oh my god, they're still going! Do I just have to keep going until there's one with God, I can't speak. With no anomalies? I think though, this one we're all good. Spooky face on the ceiling? No, we're all good. I think we win. Oh! Look at that! And you know what? 20 minutes and 30 seconds. Are we for real? So all in all, we have one movie with amazing tension and amazing horror, but with just lackluster character elements. And another movie with a solid character whose arc intertwines with the setting of the film, but with a frustrating and tensionless approach to horror for its setting. So what if there was a film that had the best of both of these worlds? Now let me just say, this movie is far from perfect. It obviously still has its problems, and it's not the best thing ever in the world and cured my cancer and my color blindness and let me see my dad from war after 15 years. But I think it's one of the best adaptations of a phenomena popularized by the internet, and Loki kind of beats out these other two. But why? Well, let's start at the beginning. The Backrooms is a movie about a man named Clark. A man who is sad, divorced, and kind of homeless. He just like me for real. Clark has lost all meaning in his life until he finds some rooms at the back of his store's basement. Almost like some sort of back room. Wait, say that again? Anyway, he becomes obsessed with it. It's practically the only meaning he's had in his life in years. So he talks to his therapist about it, Dr. Mary Klein, who's been helping him get over his divorce. Anyway, she thinks he's crazy, so he storms out. But Dr. Mary Klein has a little thing called a savior complex. You see, her mother basically was super abusive and crazy style and was eventually hospitalized. And now seeing these traits in Clark and being unable to let go of her mother and her traumatic past, she decides to help Clark. Meanwhile, I'm sure Clark's doing great in the back room. So Clark explores the back rooms with his employees in this found footage as seen. And dude, the whole time, I was so fucking scared. I was genuinely at the edge of my seat because I knew something was in there. And you would too, if I mentioned the first scene where a guy gets mauled. Speaking of getting mauled, this guy gets mauled. We barely see a glimpse of the creatures. We hear guttural screams. Clark flees, going through complete bullshit. Anyway, he ends up in this really creepy Christmas room, and this scene, man. Okay, listen. The entire movie, the Backrooms has basically been more or less stagnant, and anything that's been alive has been so for like a few seconds and far away from us. So I tell you, Clark runs directly into this shadowy figure near a Christmas tree, and then it starts moving, and then a woman starts running at him. Oh my god! It all ends once Clark overhears his coworker, puts the camera down to try and help her, and we see the camera slowly get picked up higher, higher, and higher. Much later, Mary gets a call. It's Clark. He's saying he won't be back, and apparently he's alive? So Dr. Mary Klein, with her genius level intellect and wonderful savior complex, tries to find Mark. She enters the back rooms, finds this painted thing, and we see Clark coming out of hiding, still obscuring half of his body. And the way he's standing here is like really funny, but it's also kind of just creepy and uncanny because he's completely lost it. Sorry, anyway, he chokes her out, but honestly it's for the best because he brought Mary to the best scene of the movie. She wakes up to Mr. Schnozmoz here, Quadruple Face, and the goats, and of course Clark, who has officially gone mad. He starts explaining how magical the Backrooms have been to him and that they've finally given him a purpose, and also he eats these people now. No, but Clark's monologue here is so cool, dude, and I'm gonna be honest, I love his explanation for the Backrooms. The fact that they're just the world remembering itself over and over, slowly getting diluted each time. It's so cool. And the fact that it even applies to people, it just completely recontextualizes these guys in this room, making everything so much more uncanny and just weird. So then Clark forces Mary to reenact his argument with his ex-wife, cutting off the hair of the woman in the back and plastering it to her head. He holds her at knife point, trying to make her say he was right and that he's not a fat fucking chud. But Mary says no. You are. a fat fucking chud. He starts spitting bars about how terrible of a person Clark really is, how he pushed away everyone he loves, and how he's the reason his life is in shambles. Clark realizes that she's right, but he doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to be a better person. Mary realizes that she really can't save everyone. She can't save him. So she says, that's okay. Just don't drag me down with you. So Clark starts cutting her free until his still life version walks into the room. But he explains everything is okay, that they don't have to change, that they don't have to be better people. But the thing about neglecting change in your life is sometimes you end up biting yourself in the ass. Oh, shoulder. Oh, wow. No, shoulder. And literally, yeah, he's dead. No, for sure. So obviously Captain Clark starts chasing her. And let me just say, this final chase scene is so good. This film the entire way through has always been so good at making you feel there's a present danger and make you feel trapped or completely isolated from anyone that can help you. Especially with that last scene with Clark, letting that uncanny tension build to reveal the final monster and chase through these amazing looking environments. In the end though, Mary truly lets go of her past by bashing the skull of Captain Clark with the physical manifestation of the tie between her and her mother. It's only then that she's finally able to make her escape. But then she's saved by a bunch of science dudes who like up and exploring the backrooms or whatever. You see it throughout the film. I didn't really mention it. Anyway, once she's back in safety, they let her know that they might kill her, maybe not. Depends if they're feeling silly or not. Anyway, sick ass montage time. In the end, I think the Backrooms movie does a phenomenal job at focusing on horror and character. It makes me feel actually invested and interested in these characters' conflicts. And it's just really cool how their very personalities trap themselves in the backrooms. That's the funny thing about this movie. In every other one I mentioned, there's no way out. Or at least it's kind of hard to, just kind of, it's not that hard. But here, it's literally as easy as walking through a door. But Clark is utterly obsessed, and Mary follows him down his destructive path, disregarding herself and her own safety. And I kind of love this version of the Backrooms, by the way. Most modern interpretations of the Backrooms, it's like a spooky, scary, evil place with ghouls, and monsters, and blood, and level 300, level 5000, where there's Gooblush the Schnuck, and he only comes out at 3 a.m., so make sure to hide in the closet of remembered dolls. They come out and they start to eat you at 5 a.m. so make sure you're hiding under the bed. Once you're under the bed though, you'll find Goop the Stoop. He's fine as long as you're wearing orange scented perfume. But the Backrooms here is completely apathetic. It doesn't do anything but exist and remember. The consequence of that is at the fault of whoever chooses to go in. Anyway, I'm getting off track. In the end though, the Backrooms was able to take the two best parts of Iron Lung and Exit 8, being the character and the horror, to create an amazing 8.5 out of 10 film. Anyways, if you guys don't mind, I need to go catch my subway. I'm about to be late to my submarine class. So I'll catch you guys in the... Ah! Hello? Can anyone hear me? No!